Yo, what's up? Prince Sports here. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. Alright. If you know what happened today, the Clippers played the Blazers, right? Now the game came down to the nitty-gritty. Damian Lillard had 2 free throws that he choked and missed. But while he was missing those free throws, Patrick Beverley and Paul George were on the sideline disrespecting him, laughing at him, saying Dame time is broken, tapping at their wrist to say that the watch is broken, and just making fun of the dude, disrespecting him, right? Clippers are becoming like, or they're trying to become like the bad boy Pistons. They talk a lot of shit, and they say they're better than everybody. Pat Bev said they were the best team in the NBA before the season even started. So after he hits this game, after he loses the game, Damian Lillard's at a press conference and they talking to him, and Damian Lillard addresses them disrespecting him. He said, hey, they know what time it is. They know how I get down in the clutch. And then he goes to say, I sent Paul George home and I sent Patrick Beverley home before. So they already know what to suspect from me. So Paul George took this to heart and said, hey, you getting sent home this year. So, Dame was like, okay, keep switching teams, you guys ducking, such and such. So basically, Damian is implying that Paul George went to the Clippers chasing rings because he couldn't get it done OKC with Westbrook. That's why he kept saying, keep that same energy, you keep switching teams, trying to get a championship. And Paul George replies back and said, okay, respect that, but my first 7 years with Indiana was better than your years with Portland. So these two going back and forth, and they want beef, man. So Damian Lillard's a hip-hop artist, so when he gets called out, he obliged to the rules, so he's always going to reply back if somebody calling him out. So he's not going to back down from a challenge. Neither should he. So me personally, I think Damian Lillard, unfortunately, is in a bad situation to talk because his team is fighting for a playoff spot, and the Clippers already got the playoff spot on lock. And if Paul George does manage to win a championship this season, he's going to rub that in Damian Lillard's face. But there's some truth to Damian Lillard talking about Paul George had to switch teams to even try to get the chip because he couldn't get the job done being an alpha. And Damian Lillard's still out there grinding. Unfortunately, in basketball, people don't care about that when they look at a superstar. All they want to see is, do you get a championship or not? That's the only thing they care about. And that's the only thing they're going to be judging certain players on. They're like, this guy got a championship, this guy didn't. And Pat Bev, you know how crazy Pat Bev is. Damian Lillard said, I sent Pat Bev home too, so he knows how I get down. And Pat Bev just tweeted back to him laughing, emojis laughing, So, yeah, the Clippers are now poking their chest out. They feel they're better than everybody on the planet. And they might be, Here's the thing about basketball, it's a team sport. So, as good as a superstar is, you still have to bring home the trophy, but at the same time, you got to have a good team around you, man. It's a team accomplishment, a team sport, and legacies are built on how great certain teams are with their individual alpha players. So, even if they do win the championship, the Clippers, Paul George won't be seen as the alpha #1 player. But if the Portland Trail Blazers won the championship, Damian Lillard would have been the #1 reason why they got a championship. So that has a little more credit to it. But you can't defend the fact that he choked. He had a chance to win the game. They're fighting for a playoff spot. The Clippers pretty much gave you the game to win, and you couldn't get a job done. So, it is what it is, man. But it's good to see that these guys have no love lost, and they're still competing out there on the court, and Paul George still once spoke with Damian Lillard after that shot Damian hit on him. So he still remembers that. It must sting. You know, it must hit the heart a little bit. But Prince Sport out. Keep it 3,000.